Hey, how's it going? And welcome back to part 6 and the final part of our Monster Hunter photo composite series. And we finally finished all of our character details in the previous video, so now we can finally move on to the background. But there is one more thing we need to do before we can start doing the background. And that is, I'm going to select all of my character layers and groups, all of them except the scarf. And I'm just going to right click and I'm going to go to convert to smart object. So now our entire character is a smart object, and that'll allow us to apply colors and filters and effects to the entire character without having to worry about all the separate individual layers. But because it's a smart object, it's still going to retain all the information of all those layers and groups. I can just click on edit contents. And you see all my layers and groups are still there, they're still intact, and they're still separated out. And I'm going to convert my scarf to a smart object as well. The reason I have the scarf separate from the rest of the body is because I still might want to move it around a little bit depending on how the background turns out. So I want to keep that separate for now. So the first thing we're going to add to the background is you can see her leg is kind of up standing on something, and I've decided to put her in a cemetery background. So her leg is going to be up on a tombstone. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to add in today. So I got this cemetery image, and I'm going to clip out this tombstone right here, and this is the tombstone she's going to be standing on. So let's start clipping that out. All right, so I think I got everything. Let me just check. Yep. So let's select that. And we'll bring that in here. Let's call that tombstone. And we're just gonna have it right around there. And I think I'm just going to scale the entire character down just a little bit. And this is why I kept the scarf separate, because the scarf should probably be behind the tombstone. Like that. Yeah, depending on where this tombstone ends up, I might want to change the position of the scarf. But for right now, it's okay right there. All right, so let's add our second background element. And that's going to be this, this wall of ruins. Let's just get rid of that sky first, because that's going to be the easy part. I'm just going to magic wand the sky. So I got rid of all my sky, but I still want to get rid of all this greenery here and there and there and maybe there. I think I'm just going to use this section right here, so I may not need to take that out. But I think I might anyway, just in case. So I'm going to have to clip out with the pen tool all these little rocks and bricks. But we don't have to worry too much about getting a precise path here, because it's very rough and it's very jagged, so it doesn't need to follow it precisely. It's kind of hard to tell in some areas, like where the wall ends and where that background begins, but we'll just kind of make it up. And these ruins just kind of flow with the composition of our character, because you'll see our character goes from corner to corner. There's a little bit of a diagonal composition with our character, from our knife to the arm to this arm, and the diagonal composition of the wall just kind of it complements that. So they should work nicely together. All right, so let's add in some elements for our sky. And I want to do like a bright red, creepy sky with like a red blood moon. And let's see, let's bring in this moon picture first. And let's paste that in. I think we'll stick that around there. And let's grab this picture next. I'm gonna mask that off. And I'm just gonna fill our background with some of that red from the sky. There we go. And maybe darken that up a little bit. So let's try making that moon a little brighter by putting a levels adjustment layer on top of it. And maybe like an outer glow. And let's bring in that other picture of the sky. Yeah, this picture might work a little better. And maybe darken up our sky a little bit with a layer adjustment. Just so our moon pops a little bit more. Alright, so let's turn that wall back on. I think I like it right about there. And let's do an adjustment layer on that. And I want to darken that up a whole bunch. And let's do a color overlay of our red. Then maybe just paint in some shadows on top of that. Turn that down a bit. I'm still just experimenting. I have a general idea of what I want to do, but I'm still experimenting. I'm still just playing around. Let's just try taking a red and just painting along like that. You know, I think the background right now is just a little too dark, so I'm just gonna make a new layer and just fill it entirely with red. And just screen it back a little bit. Yeah, I think that works better. The sky was just too dark and it just wasn't working for me. You know what, I think I'll be better off. You put that in a group first, but I think I'll be better off moving the wall down a little bit because I think it's too distracting up here. Just debating our moon placement. Like maybe we could have our moon really big like that. like really big and surreal. That's kind of interesting, like doing it like that. Let's keep it like that for now, and I might change that later, subject to change. Alright, so let's go to our wall layer, and I'm just gonna fade that off at the bottom. Alright, so let's go back to our tombstone layer, and I think I'm just going to desaturate that altogether. Because right now it's like this greenish color, and I definitely don't want that. And let's also fix the name so it's spelled correctly. And let's make a new layer and clip it to that tombstone. And I'm going to put that on multiply. And I'm just going to paint in a shadow underneath her foot. Just going to do it very roughly at first, and then I'll refine it more. And let's put another clipping mask on that stone, and maybe set it to color. And let's take some of that red. And we'll just paint over that for now. Let's darken that tombstone up a little bit first. So let's try duplicating that tombstone layer, putting it on screen. And just turning up our levels just so we get that lighting on the edge. And I'm just going to mask that off so it's only on that edge. And let's put a mask on our tombstone layer and just kind of fade this part off down here. Yeah, I think I might just keep the background like very red and stylized. I think that might be a nice look to go for. We'll see. We need to play around a little bit more. And let's make a new layer and clip it to our vampire hunter. And put it on soft light. Just go to black. And I'm just gonna paint in some black to darken her legs and boots up a little bit more. So let's add a little bit of smoke and mist down here in the background. So let's bring, so I got this one here and I got this one here. And let's just try messing around with the hue and making it a little more red. Yeah, there we go. That's good. So let's select that section there. gonna bring that in, say, in front of the wall. Put that on screen or lighten. No, we'll put it on screen. That'll help fade the background off a little bit more. But I just need to pump up my blacks a little bit more because I see the edge right there. So I need to pump up my darks more to get rid of that. All right, that's good. And let's go to our second image and do the same thing. Make it more red. Just like that. And I'm just going to select that. And I'm going to paste this one all the way in the front. Put that on screen. Again, I'm going to pump up my dark so the edge goes away there. And I'm just going to have that right on the edge, just so it fades off the tombstone like that. That's kind of interesting. Kind of like that look. Maybe take this red, just tilt it a little more like that. I'm kind of liking like the red stylized background. I think I'm digging it. But I think this wall still needs to be moved down a little more. I think it's maybe a little too high. Yeah, I just think I'll be better off if it's not so prominent. Maybe just make it a lot smaller. I don't know, do I not need the wall? Yeah, I'm not sure about that wall. Maybe we're just better off without that wall. Yeah, let's just try turning the wall off for now. I don't know. I thought that wall was gonna look good with our composition, but maybe it's just too distracting. Maybe we don't need it. Let's just play around without that wall for now. And we may decide we just don't need it. And let's put a mask on our monster hunter. And let's fade off this leg down here, so it's going into the mist, the red mist. All right, so let's add in more cemetery back here. Got some cemetery pictures. Got this one here and this one here. Let's try this one. And let's just select all. And paste that in. Maybe like something right there. And I'm just gonna go to warp and I'm gonna exaggerate that a little bit and just curve it out. And let's see. Color dodge, overlay. Oh, that's kind of nice. Like an overlay or soft light. Maybe just erase this line right there. I think our moon might be a little too bright and prominent right now, so let's try to tone that down a little bit. Maybe turn off that levels adjustment. Maybe that was just too much. And maybe mask that off. And let's try adding a layer mask and maybe like fade it down into the clouds a little more. That's kind of cool. I think I like this side. I think I like it rotated like that better. Yeah, that was just too bright. It was distracting me. I think I like that. Let's go with that. But still, let's just mask that off a little bit so it fades into the clouds. I'll be honest, I usually have what I'm gonna do pretty much figured out before I start recording these videos, but with this one, I'm kind of just playing it by ear. I'm not totally sure where I'm gonna end up. I'm still just doing a lot of experimenting. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it yet, but I kept this one furry tail and I deleted this one. This one wasn't really working where it was. It just looked awkward, so I got rid of that one and I kept this one. Just FYI. All right, so I think I'm gonna put another tombstone like right here. So let's grab that next. So I can probably just do like a quick selection. That should be good enough, I'm thinking. Just zoom in on that and get all these little parts we missed. So let's bring that in up front. And we're just gonna stick it right about there at an angle. So that's just gonna be, I think like that. Down there. Let's just keep it at that. I think it's okay for now. In loving memory of Thomas Briggs. Thank you, Thomas. I'm gonna have to take out that name because it's kind of awkward. So let's put a levels adjustment on that and just darken it up a little bit. And let's clip it to that layer. And we'll call that front tombstone. And I'm gonna duplicate that and clip it to that. Let's do another layer of red. Put it in like darken, multiply. It doesn't really matter. All right, so let's turn that back on. Put that on screen. And just move up our blacks so we get that white highlight on top. That's what we want. And I'm gonna put a clipping mask on that. I'm gonna take out down there. And make another layer, put it on multiply. And I'm just gonna paint in with black down here to darken that up. You turn that down, that's too much. I'll just erase some of that out. Maybe tone down that tombstone in the front a little bit. So let's copy one of our smoke layers, our red smoke layers. And let's rotate it this way. And maybe put that in front of that tombstone. Like right like that. Let's go back to our character and make a new layer, clip to her, and make it red. And just paint a little red down here and put that on soft light. Maybe paint a little blue in there. I'm kind of liking the contrast between that like cyan blue and the red. So maybe we can do something with that. I am liking that. I think we're onto something. I think we're onto something. Nice. I like that. That looks really, really nice. You know what? Maybe our moon isn't red. Maybe our moon is like more of a teal color, like a cyan teal color. Let's just let's copy our moon group and let's experimenting with just changing the color. So maybe do like a hue saturation adjustment. And get rid of that clipping mask. That might be kind of interesting. Instead of doing a red moon, just do like a nice cyan moon to contrast everything. Maybe just fade the moon out so it sort of looks like it's behind clouds. Let's do that, and let's turn on an inner glow. Yeah, you know what? I like that. I think I like that. I think I'm digging that. It's funny how you start one place, then you end up like a totally separate place, but that's what happens. Although I'm thinking maybe everything needs to be shifted down a little bit. Like everything just seemed a little too high up. Let's just select her and the tombstone, and let's just nudge them all down a little bit more. Alright, gotta bring that scarf down too. Speaking of the scarf, I need to do a layer clip to that and add some of that blue we got going on. So yeah, I really like this circle, how the moon goes from her to around the head. I think that's kind of nice, just from a composition standpoint. It's nice, I like that. You know, I'm not sure about the sky, like this orange chunk here. That kind of seems out of place to me, so let's try maybe moving some stuff around. Let's make another layer, and let's try darkening up our sky a little more. We're getting there, we're almost there. It just takes a lot of messing around and experimentation sometime, but we're almost getting there. You know what? Let's try turning this soft light layer of color. Maybe put that on color. Yeah. I kind of like that. It's a little more intense, but gotta tone that down a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That more intense color is nice. I like that. But maybe just tone it down a little bit. Maybe it's a little too much. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. That's definitely cool. Let's, you know what? Let's turn that wall back on that we turned off a while ago. Maybe I can use that in some capacity. Like maybe that can just be back here as like a nice shape. You can't really see what it is, but it doesn't matter. I think it works with our composition nicely. And I'm just refining all this highlighted blue light I painted in. I just painted it in very roughly, but now I need to go back in there and make it a little more refined. And let's go behind our wall layer and you just paint one more kind of swoop of red back there. But turn that down a bunch. Too much. Alright, so I gotta admit, when I started this piece tonight, I didn't expect it to go in this direction with all the, you know, the heavy red colors and that bluish kind of green color, but I like it. I really do. I think it turned out really nice. It took a lot of experimenting, and it took a lot of playing around. I don't know how much I'm gonna end up showing that in the final video. I may cut a lot of that out, but I had to play around with a lot of things. I had to move a lot of stuff around, but I eventually got to a composition and a color scheme that I liked and that I'm really happy with, and yeah, it turned out really cool. Although I'm still probably gonna work on it a little bit more. I still think that the lighting, as far as like the reds and the blues, need a little more tweaking on the character there. I think they need a little more refining before I can call it done. But I think for the sake of the video, we can call it done. And so, thank you for watching, and take care. Oh, and happy Halloween.